Olivia Carter stood in front of the grand ballroom mirror, adjusting the final ribbon on her navy blue bridesmaid dress. Around her, laughter echoed through the bridal suite as everyone celebrated Sophia's wedding day. Olivia smiled warmly, hiding the ache that still lingered in her heart. 2 years ago, she had been the one wearing white, dreaming about forever. But her fiancé had walked away just weeks before their wedding, leaving behind nothing but unanswered questions and a broken heart. Since then, Olivia had rebuilt her life one careful step at a time. She poured all her energy into becoming one of the city's most trusted wedding planners. Helping others celebrate love gave her purpose, even if she no longer believed that kind of happiness was meant for her. The wedding morning quickly turned chaotic. The florist called to say the delivery truck had broken down. The custom wedding cake arrived damaged. One of the musicians was stranded in traffic. Panic spread through the venue as vendors rushed in different directions. Olivia refused to let the day fall apart. She calmly made phone calls, found replacement flowers, worked with the pastry chef to repair the cake, and adjusted the ceremony schedule without letting the bride notice how serious the problems were. Every challenge seemed impossible, yet Olivia solved each one with remarkable confidence. After hours of non-stop work, she finally stepped outside the hotel for a brief moment to catch her breath. As she hurried across the entrance carrying a stack of paperwork and 2 cups of coffee, she accidentally bumped into a tall man wearing a perfectly tailored black suit. Coffee splashed across his jacket. Olivia's eyes widened with horror. "Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry," she said, reaching for napkins. "I wasn't watching where I was going." The man looked at the stain for a second before smiling. "It looks like my suit needed a little excitement today," he joked. Olivia couldn't help laughing. "I'm serious. I'll pay for the cleaning." "I think I'll survive," he replied kindly. "Besides, accidents happen." His calm attitude surprised her. Most wealthy guests would have reacted very differently. "I'm Ethan," he said, extending his hand. "Olivia." Their handshake lasted only a moment, but something about it felt strangely unforgettable. Before either of them could continue talking, Olivia's phone rang again. "Another wedding emergency. I have to go," she said apologetically. Ethan nodded with an understanding smile. "I hope the rest of your day is less eventful." Olivia hurried back inside, unaware that Ethan Blackwell wasn't simply another wedding guest. He was the billionaire owner of the luxury hotel and one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the country. As Ethan watched her disappear through the ballroom doors, he realized something unusual. For the first time in years, he wasn't thinking about business deals, investments, or board meetings. He was thinking about the determined woman who had spilled coffee on his suit, and somehow left a far bigger impression on his heart. As the wedding ceremony began, the elegant ballroom filled with soft music and joyful smiles. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above the guests, and white roses lined the aisle like a dream. From a quiet corner near the back, Ethan Blackwell watched everything unfold. Officially, he was there to ensure the hotel's biggest event of the season ran perfectly. Unofficially, he found himself searching the room for one person, Olivia. She moved gracefully from table to table, checking every detail without drawing attention to herself. When a flower arrangement leaned to one side, she fixed it in seconds. When an elderly guest needed assistance, she was there before anyone else noticed. She worked with quiet confidence, making every problem disappear before it became visible. Ethan had spent years surrounded by people who chased wealth, status, and influence. Olivia seemed different. She wasn't trying to impress anyone. She simply cared about making the day unforgettable for others. After the bride and groom exchanged their vows, the celebration shifted to the grand reception hall. Laughter, music, and dancing filled the room. Just as everything seemed perfect, dark clouds gathered outside. Within minutes, a powerful storm swept across the city. The lights suddenly flickered. Then everything went dark. A wave of nervous whispers spread through the ballroom. The music stopped, and several guests reached for their phones. The bride looked frightened, worried her dream wedding was about to be ruined. Before panic could take over, Olivia stepped into action. She instructed the hotel staff to light decorative candles stored for emergencies. She asked the musicians to play acoustic music while the generators were being activated. The soft glow of candlelight transformed the ballroom into a warm, romantic setting that looked even more magical than the original plan. Guests who had been anxious only moments earlier began smiling again. Some even commented that the candlelit atmosphere made the wedding feel more intimate and unforgettable. Watching from across the room, Ethan couldn't hide his admiration. Most people became overwhelmed when plans failed. Olivia became stronger. When the reception finally settled, Ethan approached her with 2 glasses of sparkling water. "I thought you might need a break," he said with a gentle smile. Olivia accepted one gratefully. "Thank you. I didn't realize how thirsty I was. You handled that situation better than most executives I've worked with." She laughed softly. "I've learned that weddings never go exactly as planned. You just keep moving forward." Ethan nodded thoughtfully. "That's a lesson many people never learn." For a few peaceful minutes, they talked about life, work, and the unexpected twists that change a person's future. Olivia felt surprisingly comfortable around him, unaware that he was one of the country's youngest billionaires. As she was called away to help another guest, Ethan watched her walk across the ballroom once again. Deep inside, he knew this wasn't simply a chance meeting. Fate had brought them together for a reason, and he couldn't wait to discover what that reason would be. The wedding celebration slowly came to an end as the last dance faded into applause. Guests began saying their goodbyes, while the hotel staff quietly cleared tables and packed away decorations. For Olivia Carter, the work was far from over. She walked through the ballroom one final time, making sure every detail had been completed perfectly. As she gathered her notebook and prepared to leave, the hotel manager approached her with a warm smile. "Miss Carter, someone would like to speak with you in the executive lounge." Confused, Olivia followed him upstairs. She assumed another client had a last-minute request. Instead, she found Ethan Blackwell standing beside the large windows overlooking the city skyline. The lights of the city shimmered beneath the rainy night, creating a breathtaking view. "You wanted to see me?" Olivia asked. Ethan turned with a friendly smile. "I did. First, I wanted to thank you." She looked surprised. "For what?" "For saving today's wedding. My staff told me how many problems you solved before anyone even noticed." Olivia smiled modestly. "I was only doing my job." "Not everyone does their job with that much heart." There was a brief silence before Ethan continued. "I should probably introduce myself properly." He handed her a business card. Olivia glanced at it, then froze. The name on the card read, Ethan Blackwell, founder and CEO, Blackwell International Hotels. Her eyes widened. "You're the owner of this hotel?" Ethan nodded with a small laugh. "I was wondering how long it would take you to find out." Olivia felt embarrassed. "I spilled coffee on the owner's suit. And it was the most interesting part of my day," Ethan replied with a grin. They both laughed, breaking the awkward silence. Ethan's expression became more serious. "I'm expanding my luxury event division, and I'm looking for someone who can lead it. After watching you today, I believe you're exactly the person I've been searching for." Olivia stared at him, unsure she had heard correctly. "You're offering me a job." "I'm offering you an opportunity," Ethan said. "A chance to build something extraordinary." For a moment, Olivia didn't know what to say. She had worked hard to rebuild her life after heartbreak, but she had never imagined an opportunity like this would appear on a wedding day. "I'll need some time to think," she said honestly. "Of course," Ethan replied. "The decision is yours. No pressure." As Olivia left the hotel that night, she looked back at the glowing building one last time. She had arrived that morning expecting to help someone else begin a new chapter. Instead, fate had quietly opened the door to one of her own. Neither Olivia nor Ethan realized that their unexpected meeting was only the beginning. The offer of a lifetime would soon become something even more valuable, a journey filled with trust, healing, and a love neither of them had been searching for, but both desperately needed. Sometimes, the greatest love stories begin with a simple accident, and one unforgettable wedding encounter.